Here's your report.
Oh, thanks, Jane. I wish I could hire someone just like you.
Try LinkedIn Hiring Pro. It's more than a job board. It's like the recruiter you always wished you had. Hiring Pro uses real-time insights to match your role to LinkedIn's unique network of professionals and delivers a short list of best fit candidates. You'll spend less time sorting applicants and more time talking to the right people.
Let's do it. You're irreplaceable, Jane, but another you would be great.
Hire right the first time. Post your job for free on LinkedIn today at linkedin.com/quality.
This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I wanted to kind of do a part 2 to a TikTok video that I did, but I'm like, nah, bro, I got more to say. I can't say it within 3 minutes. It's gonna take me a little bit of time to talk about this, because early access video games, I feel like it has a lot of people confused on what an early access game is supposed to be. Now, growing up, when somebody tells you you've gained early access to whatever, like let's say it's a new restaurant, right? And they hold some event and they say, oh, you're the winner. You'll get early access to the restaurant before everybody else does. So you show up. You go to the restaurant, you have you some good food, and then after that, you're good. You're chilling, right? That's what early access meant at some point in time, back years and years and years ago. Now, for some odd reason, with video games, early access, so pretty much if I were to take today's situation with video games, early access video games, and put it into that same scenario, chairs haven't been put in there. Tables haven't been put in there. Half the menu, they only got one one meal on the menu. There's one cook, one chef. What else? One window. The doors don't work. What are some other things? And it's a bunch of different problems that's wrong with that restaurant. And they look you in your face and tell you you're gonna have to wait a few years for this restaurant to be fully accessible. Why not just open it a few years or however many years down the road when it'll be fully accessible? Why not just open it up then? You know, and then that's the thing with video games, because there have been some games that I bought that's in early access and the developers didn't live up to their potential. That's what I'm more so talking about. But the reason why I had did this TikTok video talking about early access games, because there's a game that just recently hit the scenes called Funnel Runners. Now, when I very first seen that game, I was like, oh, 100% I'm getting it. That game looks dope. They put you in a situation, they put you in this small town where there's a tornado spawning wherever. And then, originally I didn't know what the game was supposed to be about. But then eventually the game does come out. I get to see firsthand what it is. I will say that the game, it played good. It was a dope game. I liked it. The issues that I had with it was that, and I don't know, maybe it doesn't really fall in that early access category, but I do feel like that's a game it's definitely higher than 50% completed. You know, there's some games where it's like they only release like maybe 20-30%, and then they expect you to be like, oh, you gotta look at this like a fully functional completed video game. And so there's two games that I will be mentioning, one being Funnel Runners and then the other one being Assetto Corsa Evo. Now, with Funnel Runners, the issue that I had with that was that your character ran too slow. They didn't explain the whole mission. So, like, for an example, if they told you you have to get a tire for your car, right? They don't tell you all the, I'm just assuming that I'm going to just need a tire. That's what I'm looking for. But they don't tell you, oh yeah, you need to get the to jack the because they have you in like, it's kind of like Phasmophobia. So they have you in this like starter van, and then yes, you know, and they have you just kind of going around the map finding different stuff. So let's say they have you finding a tire. They don't tell you that you need a jack. So now you gotta go around this map looking for a jack. And that's the thing, they have it where the super tornado, the F5, is like about 2 miles away. Tornadoes move fast. I ain't never heard of a slow tornado and stuff. So that's why I'm like, fam, realistically, because I feel like that's what some people are going to try to put out there, you know, oh, the game's trying to be realistic. Okay, realistically, why would I be in a town looking for documents, tires, VHS tapes, when the VHS tapes, most likely whatever it is, we could get a digital version of it. But if you put yourself in a situation where you're going to leave all that stuff there, and you know that this tornado is getting ready to come through the town and tear it apart, you brought that on yourself. Now realistically, I'm not going to put myself in a situation where I'm looking for a bunch of different, because my thing is this, if it ain't all at one house, I'm not looking for it. But if I gotta run to like 10 different houses and look for all these different things, and so that's what they'll do, right? So they'll tell you that you need to look for the tire. So it's like, okay, you look for the tire, you somehow, some way find the jack, and it's like, all right, cool, that's all that I need to do. Now this is the training mission. Now I'm assuming that they just wanted me to know how to navigate around the map, right? They have it set up where when you do that, like you change the tire and all that stuff, and then they tell you to go turn the key, now you have engine problems. Why not tell me that when I was running around and then there was all these different things that I was coming across where I could have brought that back with me, and I'm like, okay, I ain't gotta run back and forth from house to house, getting electrocuted by power lines and getting thrown all over the place by some smaller tornado. You know, and that's the thing where it's like, and so I can't remember if I did say that in the TikTok video, but I'm like, my thing is this, right? Imagine if you work at a job and the boss tells you, hey, I need you to go across town to Lowe's and buy a ladder. Okay, I'll go across town to Lowe's and get me a ladder. Drive through traffic, go to Lowe's, get the ladder, stand in line, pay for it. You know, thought my car was going to decline, but it didn't. I'm like, all right, I guess I still have some money. Drive on back. Then the boss is all like, oh, I need you to also get some folding chairs. Why not tell me that while I was at Lowe's? Why would you wait for me to come all the way back here and then tell me you didn't try to text, you didn't try to call, you didn't try to, like, that's how Funnel Runners is. And that's the thing that I don't like. I just want to be able to do the mission. Like, yeah, if it's like one of those things where it's like you progress into the next area, then okay, cool. I don't mind that. But it's like, if you're telling me I need these things, then it's like, okay, have it all listed out rather than having it listed out in parts. So that was one issue. Then the other issue, they have your character running mad slow. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, now I know for a fact I've seen elderly people might, you know, run the same speed, if not a little bit faster. But that's the thing. Your character is not elderly. He's probably, the characters look like they could probably be in their 30s or 40s. Now, I've seen people in their 30s and 40s run, whether it's track, whether it's running for a bus, whether 30 people in their 30s and 40s are pretty fast. So that's why I'm like, I don't know what 30 and 40, maybe the developers are in their 30s and 40s and they don't run fast. I'm like, okay, that's you guys. That don't mean not everybody, because I'm like, fam, I'm turning 30 next month, like a few weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I'll be turning did I say 40 or 30? If I said 40, my apologies, I meant to say 30. But anyways, I'm still pretty fast on my feet, you know. And then my thing is this, if I see a giant tornado in the distance, like 2 miles out, I'm running in the opposite direction. But I'm not going to be doing some like Baywatch slow motion jog. No, I'm hauling it. Like, you would have thought I was an athlete the way I would have been running. All right. And I've been in situations where I've needed to run for the bus. I needed to run. I'm trying to think where, you know, I'm trying to think of some other situation. Yeah, mainly the bus. I'm like, I don't be having no high risk life where I'm like running from stuff and, you know, all that. So, but anyways, I mean, if I had to chase somebody down, I would like, yeah, you know, I would say I'm pretty fast on my feet and things. But anyways, the character runs slow, and I'm like, I can't have that. You know, it's like, make the character black, make him a track star, something, I don't know, but he needs to run a lot faster. And then the other issue that I had, what was the other issue that I had with that game? So it was the missions, the run. Oh, then so I was able to get through a mission. I was so close to completing the mission. Spawns a tornado in front of me, and I get killed. And I have to do the mission all over again. Now, I talked about this on TikTok. I posted a video. Explain to me why people are trying to tell me that I'm wrong on what I'm saying and that they're right and all they're just saying is, oh, the game is good. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, explain to me how the game is good. Because I just explained the issues that's wrong that they have going on with the game. Explain to me how the game is good. The thing is this, I'll have to say out of all the storm chasing games that I've seen, that Funnel Runners is out of all of them, because Outbreaks, I think they had one called Storm Chaser Simulator. Funnel Runners, in my opinion, is number one. But the game does have issues, just like how Outbreak has issues. And Storm Chaser Simulator, you could tell that was a low budget video game. But still, my thing is this, right? If I complain about problems with the game, that doesn't mean that you need to comment underneath my video or podcast episode or whatever, trying to start an argument with me about whatever it is that I'm talking about. That's the problem with some people in the video game industry, where you want to argue with people if they say something bad about your favorite video game. If you like that game, cool, more power to you. I'm not trying to take that away from you. That doesn't mean that I'm going to like it because you like it, or I'm going to say that the game is good because you say the game is good. That's one thing I can't stand with people in the gaming industry. It's like, you think that my mindset is going to change because, oh, you comment underneath video all like, oh, the game's good. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, explain. Like, that's the thing that people don't never do. They don't never explain. I'm telling you, it's like we live in a world where it's a lot of lack of communication and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, overall though, my thing is this. Again, Funnel Runners is good. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great game, and I definitely will give that game a chance in the future. But for now, I had to get my money back. I can't have it where it's like, because my thing is this. Moving on to the next game, I'm not trying to have it where it be the same situation where I buy this game and then the developers are like, oh, well, the things that we did promise, we're not going to promise that no more. We're just going to add a bunch of different random stuff that you guys didn't even ask for. Or it's things that we could have added later, but we could have worked on whatever it is that we promised you guys before. So anyways, next game, Assetto Corsa Evo. Now, for those that don't know too much about Assetto Corsa, the franchise. So they came out with a video game years ago just called Assetto Corsa, because they have a few of them. They got Assetto Corsa Competizione, Assetto Corsa Evo, and Assetto Corsa Rally. So Assetto Corsa, the first one, that was the game that elevated that franchise, because you see all the different mods, you see all the different things that people did. Like, there was at times where I was sitting down watching content of that game, and I didn't realize that I was looking at Assetto Corsa. I was like, wow, that actually looks kind of dope. Then it was funny. I remember it was me, my dad, and my sister. We went to a car show, and then they had like this like racing sim area. Now, I didn't know what game it was, and me and this kid, it was funny because I was all like, I think I had said to my dad, I was like, yeah, I don't know what game that is. And so I think he the kid thought it was Gran Turismo. Now I'm looking at the game, and I'm like, that don't look like Gran Turismo, but I don't know. Maybe it might be like a different menu settings or layout or HUD or something like that. But I'm like, I ain't gonna be out here arguing with the kid about what the game is. So I'm like, hey, we just had a mutual agreement. I'm like, yeah, let's just call it Gran Turismo or something like that. But then I got to thinking about it, and I was all like, wait a minute. That could have been Assetto Corsa. And I think I seen a video where the HUD looked exactly the same. And I'm like, yep, that was Assetto Corsa that them people. So I'm like, that's how good that game is, to where any and everybody is playing it, right? So anyways, Assetto Corsa comes out, game, like, it made the franchise into what it is today. Competizione comes out. Not really a whole lot going on with that game. Had to wait some updates for them to add cars and all these other different things. Now, when I had played that game, the idea of having it set up where you have to pit in order to win the race, but if you don't pit, and my thing is this, if nothing ain't wrong with my car, why am I pitting? So that's why I was like, why I just refuse to ever play Competizione again, is because so I pit. Actually, no, I didn't pit. I'm just racing because I'm like, okay, I have it set up to where I don't need to pit. There ain't no problems. I'm just going to finish out this race. I finish out the race. The race ends. They say I'm dead last, even though I was first place the whole time. Now, that's the thing for those that don't know. Assetto Corsa ain't got no, whatchamacallit, checkpoints. They just have you on a track. You race around. The only checkpoint is the finish line. That's it. That's the only checkpoint that you have. That's the only one that I had crossed. I didn't miss it. At least I didn't think I didn't miss it. I felt like, for the most part, I stayed on the road. And I'm trying to think. I don't think there was ever a time where I went off road unless, because there was this one track where it was like they have like this sharp turn. Slightly, if not, I'm like, but that's the thing. There ain't no checkpoint there. There ain't no finish line there. The finish line is on a straight road. So if you somehow, and then the side areas, like the side barriers and stuff, extremely narrow. So there's like maybe a couple of inches of grass, but still, it's not enough for you. You, at the end of the day, if you cross the finish line, there's no way for you. You can't miss it, So, but anyways, they had it where I failed the race. So I was like, you know what? Forget it. I ain't got no reason to play Competizione. I'm leaving this game alone. They announced Evo, and they said Evo was going to have an open world mode in the game. So I'm like, oh, that should be pretty dope. I'm like, I guess, and that's the thing too, where I'm like, you guys have a whole modding community that worked on Assetto Corsa. Why not contact them? Because, so this is what happened. So Assetto Corsa Evo comes out. I buy it. Fell victim to the quote unquote idea behind that game, right? So anyways, some time passes by, because I think the game came out at the beginning of, let me see real quick when that game came out. Because I think it was either the beginning of 2024 or 5. Hold on for a second. Assetto Corsa Evo. Let's see. 2025. So the game came out in the beginning of 2025. They said that at the end of the year that the game was gonna have the open world mode, right? All right, cool. No biggie, no problem. I'll wait till the end of the year. End of the year comes, no open world mode. What's going on here? Why is it that you guys just said that open world mode was gonna come out, but there ain't no open world mode in the game? So then they added this quote unquote career mode. Now, when you sit down and you think of a career mode, you think of something like kind of like how they have in Forza Motorsports, where it's like, okay, you click on it. They have you in some starter cars. You work your way up. There you go. Career mode, nothing. Absolutely nothing. The only thing that Assetto Corsa had brought to the table was exhibition races. And then how in Gran Turismo they got like that driver's license mode where it's like you just have to like drive through certain checkpoints and all that. That's what they had in that game. So my thing is this, right? Hold on, there's this somebody with a motorcycle outside, and I'm like trying to, go hurry up and drive out of the neighborhood so I could get back to this podcast episode. All right, cool. So anyways, my thing is this, right? If you're going to add a career mode, it needs to be a career mode like most video games that have a career mode. Career mode wasn't nothing. So at least for me, I didn't see nothing when I did try to play career mode. So that's why I was all like, man, this was a waste of money. Then I see it not too long ago because I was curious. I'm like, all right, when is the open world mode going to come out? They canceled it. They said there ain't going to be no open world mode. They just want to come out with tracks and cars. Why not just have that set up in, that already set up, but then still add the open world mode? And then on top of that, you have a whole community that is willing to work with you guys. All they probably just gonna want is just credit, and then it's like, okay, cool. I have a little bit, I guess like some game development work underneath my belt. So if I want to go get me a job, then it's like, oh yeah, I worked on this video game, or I worked on that game, or I worked on the Assetto Corsa in their open world mode. They were like, oh yeah, that mode was pretty dope. Yeah, you're hired. You go ahead and work with us. We're gonna work on this game, all this other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't do that. They just pretty much was all like, yeah, we're Assetto Corsa Evo died off. Nobody talks about that game. I don't even think people are even playing that game. Maybe a few people. Let's see. Assetto Corsa Evo Steam player count. Let's see. Oh, I guess there is still nope, never mind. They said it was like 1,100 people. Then when I clicked on it, then it was like 550 people. And 1.5 years ago, they had 25,752 people playing this game. That was their all-time peak. And then they, in a 24-hour peak, they had like a little less than 1,500. So my thing is this, right? Wouldn't it have made sense to add the stuff that you guys said that you was going to add, and then whatever you wanted to do afterwards, you wait on that? No, what they decide to do, we're going to abandon Assetto Corsa Evo, maybe come out with a little update here and there, but now they're focused on a completely different video game, Assetto Corsa Rally. So the funny thing is, when Rally came out, I think I did play it for a little bit, but I was like, wait a minute. There's a whole video game that you guys was working on and you just gave up. The thing is this. Assetto Corsa, you guys already have enough of my money. With Competizione on both Xbox and PC, and then with Evo. You don't need no more of my money. What I need in return is a video game. But that's the thing. With these early access video games, developers want to put out half of a video game, but expect you to pay full price or a certain dollar amount. And I'm like, fam, I don't feel comfortable doing that. So don't be surprised or upset if I want to get my money back. But that's the thing. So people want to get mad about that. Because I was talking about funnel runners. The one guy, he gonna say, because that was the example that I used. I was like, imagine if Ford had put out an early access car. Yeah, like sit down and think about that. Now it's like and so I say that, right? Now I felt like that was a pretty good example to bring to the table. I'm like, cause and for those that didn't get a chance to see that TikTok video. So I said with the Ford example, I was like, so imagine if Ford put out an early access car. You're driving down the street. Half the car is missing, and then you realize that there is one key thing that you're going to need in order for this car to be legal on the road. Brakes. You're going to need brakes. Because it's like, my thing is this, you driving down the freeway, you're doing about like 60, 70 miles per hour, and it's like, oh, okay, well, my exit is coming up here soon, and I know there's going to be a sharp turn. Let me go ahead and slow down a little bit. Wait a minute. Where's the brake pedal? And then Ford's all like, oh, that's going to be added later on. No, this needs to be added now. There ain't no such thing as no added later on with no brake pedal and things. Now you flying down the road and can't stop. Only way you be able to stop is by crashing into something. Do you want to do that? No. So my thing is this. Why is it okay? And so, because it was funny, so I had said that, right? I said that in the TikTok video, and the guy was all like, that was a bad take. And then he started saying some other random stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, how is that a bad take? Because my thing is this, ask anybody in this world, do you want a fully completed video game, or do you want to get like 2-3% of a video game and then you have to wait for the other? And then the thing is this, it ain't even guaranteed if the developers is going to continue working on that game. They might just abandon it. Because there's probably a lot of games on Steam right now, especially in the early access section, where it's just been abandoned. So my thing is this, right? Just because this game is popular, is this game going to be popular next year? Is this game even going to be popular when Grand Theft Auto 6? Yeah, let's say Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out and they say that they got a tornado mini game in there. It does take place in Florida. It takes place down south. So I'm like, all right, I think that would be a crazy thing to deal with. Yeah, let's say there's like, there's a tsunami mode too, where it's like a bunch of water is gonna rush in, alligators is gonna be all over the place, wildlife is gonna be going crazy, but you gotta go around and collect some items. If a game wants to compete with somebody, and I'm saying Grand Theft Auto, I feel like that when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, there's going to be a lot of different people that ain't even making open world games where they're going to be trying to compete with Grand Theft Auto. Because they're all like, oh, that's what's killing it. That's what's trending right now. And that's the thing where I'm like, if you got people out there where it's like, okay, because my thing is like, yeah, let's say Grand Theft Auto, when it does come out, and then people are going to still be playing funnel runners. Because my thing is this, yeah, everybody loves the game right now, and that's what I always see with video games, is that people, they will love the crap out of a video game when the game just came out. You look about like maybe 4 or 5 months down the road, ain't nobody talking about that game. The game done lost players, and then you don't see no clips, you don't see nothing of nobody playing that game. You might see a Twitch streamer playing that game here and there. You might see a clip somewhere on social media, but other than that, it's like, bro, ain't nobody fooling with that game. So when people, my thing is this, when people get to defending video games, I'm like, I've seen a lot of different video games where they have their defenders, and everybody's all like, oh, I love this game, it's the greatest game of all time. time. I'm never going to stop playing it. And then next thing you know, you look up and you see that they playing a completely different game. And that one game that they was defending, they ain't playing it no more. Game's not even installed on their either Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, or Nintendo Switch, whichever. But my thing is this. Talking about Funnel Runners, talking about Assetto Corsa Evo, talking about all early access games. If there are ideas that people are wanting to see in the game, don't just ignore it. Because look, my thing is this, when people want to do that ignoring stuff, look at what's going on with PlayStation right now. Do you want that same thing to happen to you? Like, this is stuff where I'm like, if you're a video game developer, please, I would love to sit here and debate with you, talk about it, all that stuff. I would love to have a conversation, because my thing is this. I don't know how long you've been developing video games. I've been playing video games for over 20 years. In the era that we're currently in right now with gaming, this is a horrible era with gaming right now. I'm like, where you have it where PlayStation is falling off, Xbox somehow, some way is staying afloat. Everybody's trying to go out and get the most expensive parts for a gaming PC. What else? Nintendo, I mean, yeah, they doing their thing, but it's just not as popular. I'm saying, man, right now with gaming, there's a lot going on, all right? And with early access video games, you need to have a lot going on. You need to be doing things with this game, but just having it where you're collecting a check and then we're getting a halfway made game, that ain't cool, bruh. So, but anyways, with that being said, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.